Hearts and Bones Pilates. Welcome to class number 4 today. So I thought today we'd use a prop. So I'm going to use a Theraband. This is just a medium strength Theraband. I think that's sort of quite a good sort of weight to go with. The lighter ones can tend to be too light and the heavy ones too heavy. So we're actually going to start off by using this around the rib cage just to wake up our breathing. So put it across nice and flat at the bottom of the ribs, and I would encourage you just to cross it over, because if you cross it over you can actually feel the expansion and contraction of your ribs. So this is just to give you sort of a sense of how those ribs are moving. So I want you to think of this Theraband as a golden band sitting across the bottom of the ribs. And as you inhale, just see if you can expand the band in all directions. And then as you exhale, just feel that gently deflating. So as you inhale, just gently expanding, you'll feel that the hands are going to move towards each other a bit. And as you exhale, the hands are going to move away. So you're not actually pulling on the band itself. Just let your breath gently mobilize the band on the inhale and exhale. So on the inhale, your ribs are going to get bigger. And as you exhale, the rib cage is going to get a little bit smaller. So think about the inhale. It's just like stretching that band. If you let it go, you don't want to let it go suddenly. You're going to just let it come in on its own. So it's actually quite a nifty thing to feel. Inhale to open and exhale to deflate. So since we're here, we can now actually also just work our arms a little bit. So what's really important here though is that you are actually moving just the arm bone. So we're going to do a rotator cuff strengthening exercise, but in my experience a lot of times when people do this, I'm turning my back to you on purpose, is because people tend to slide their shoulder blades together. The arm bone and the sort of side of the shoulder blade are connected when we do this with our rotator cuff, so really deep into the shoulder socket there. So we want to make sure that we're keeping the shoulder blade still as we do that little bit of external rotation and then come back in. So a couple of things that might help you here is if you think of just shrugging your shoulders down a little, not forcefully, just maybe even not thinking of shrugging, just melt the shoulders down, and then hug your upper arms in against the side of your rib cage. If that feels like it's too hard or you're a bit cramped, you can always sort of roll up a towel and just put that underneath. So you've just got something to sort of hold your arm bones into the shoulder socket. And then you're just going to exhale and you're going to slightly open and then just let the band deflate again. So you're going to exhale and you're going to slowly just rotate your arm bone. So it's because the top of the arm bone here is twisting that the hands are going to come apart. So it's not an effortful pulling apart of that band. So just let the movement in your shoulder blade take you open and inhale to come back. And exhale, roll at the top of the shoulder. Good. And inhale to come back. Takes a bit of getting used to. So we don't want that shoulder blade to move. We're just going to rotate the arm bone in the shoulder socket and move independently. It's a ball and socket joint. Good. Coming back. And just a couple more. So the coming back is just as important as the going out, so that we're just slowly releasing the tension on that band. Beautiful. Okay. Now we're just going to wake up the triceps a little bit. So there are a couple of different ways that we can do this. We're going to start off just by activating the muscle. So just wrap your band around your hand and you're going to place it on the front of your shoulder here. And then you're just going to place the other hand by your hip and take your elbow behind you, a little bit like a bird wing. Good. And now you're going to keep your elbow where it is and you're just going to extend it and then pull back in again. So as you exhale, keep that shoulder soft and just extend. So you don't want to drop your arm as you do that. You're only moving your elbow. There you go. And again, number 4, number 5, we're going to do 8, 6, slowly come in, 7, So just follow the release of that band, and the last one, 8. Good. And then just see how that feels. Should feel a little bit warm just through the back of that shoulder. So let's come and do that on the other side. Just placing your hand across the front of the shoulders to stop it from dropping forward, and then just place the other hand by your hip. So the tension over here is really just up to you. So if it's too slack, you're probably not going to get enough resistance, and if it's too tight, you might not be able to straighten your elbow. So you decide how much of the tightness you need in the band. So you're going to exhale, you're going to slowly extend back, keeping your elbow exactly where it is in space. Inhale to come back, exhale to extend out, inhale to come back, exhale, extend out, inhale to slowly release the band. We're halfway here with number 4 and 5, nearly there, and 6. Feel that muscle contracting, and now slowly release. Just 2 more, taking that same quality movement. Lovely. And the last one, congratulations. Just slowly release and relax down. Beautiful. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to lie down. And I'm going to get you to just put the band aside for a second. And we're just going to warm up the lower back with my all-time favorite pelvic tilts. So just bringing the heels in line with the sitting bones, arms directly next to you. And hopefully what you can feel here is more of a sense of openness through the front of your collarbones. Bring your focus into your pelvis. And as we exhale, we're going to rock both hips backwards. So that means you're flattening your lower back into the ground. And then inhale, you're lifting the lower back up and gently overarching, but only as far as it feels comfortable. And exhale to go back. Inhale to lengthen forward. Exhale to rock back. Inhale to lengthen forward. Exhale, easing back, stretching out your lower spine. Inhale, lengthening forward, stretching out your front body. Last time, exhale to come back. And then inhale and just settle into the middle between those 2 extremes. Just taking your arms out to the side, put your feet and knees together. And we're going to exhale and just gently rock the knees over to one side. Inhale and exhale to come back to the center. Inhale at the top. So we're using an exhale to help us with the movement. Pause and inhale, because your muscles are contracting just like that Theraband when you come back. Exhale to move over to your first side, and it's up to you whether you keep the head straight or turn it away from the direction of your knees. Exhale to come back. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, move across to the other side. Inhale and exhale to come back. Lovely. So let's just get the hip warmed up now. So I'm going to get you to take your Theraband. You're going to put the wide part of it over the front of your thigh, and then you're just going to cross it over at the back. So I'll be using this crossing over technique quite a lot because it gives you a bit more stability. And so now all I want you to do is just pull on the band to lift your leg up, and just keep your leg totally relaxed, and then inhale and just place it down. So what I want you to try and do here is keep your pelvis really still, and then just allow the thigh bone to sort of come along for the ride, so that you're just relaxing the front of the hip. So we're just using the Theraband instead of using our muscles. Yeah? So we don't have that intensity that we'll often associate with picking a leg up off the ground. So now you're going to lift your leg up, you're going to keep it here. Think of the thigh bone swiveling in the hip socket, so your knee is going to go out and then back, and slowly twist it outwards and coming back. Twist it out and coming back. Good. We're going to twist out, and now you're going to let the leg go forward and down towards the floor a bit, roll it back to parallel and pick it up. So you're just doing a little circle in the hip. It's actually a bit more like a D shape. So you've got the curve of the D and then the straight line coming up. So think of a capital D that you're drawing in your hip. So just one more time in that direction, coming up And now we're going to reverse. So you're going to draw the straight line down by letting your leg come towards the floor. Now swivel outwards and come back in. So it's going to be very tempting to just let your hips move with you, but I want you to isolate that movement just in the hip socket. So this is like a lovely hip massage here, and it's also a great preparation for when we're going to be doing leg circles. Good, just one more time that way. Good. And now you're just going to take the band off and just extend both legs out. Again, comparison time here, remembering that benchmarking is really important, so we can really tell the difference from one leg to the other. So I don't know what you can feel, but I can really feel like this hip is a lot lower and the leg feels a lot longer. So quite a lovely outcome just from doing that exercise. So let's come up and do the other side. Put the flat of the band across the front of your thigh, crossing it over. So you just want to be careful if you're wearing shorts, you don't want to be pinching your skin, that wouldn't be too comfortable, especially not if you've got very hairy legs, if you're a guy. And you want to make sure that you're fully supported, so don't hold on the ends here, that's too hard. You want to get right up close where that cross is, so you're holding on sort of towards the sides of your thigh. That way you've got a lot of support. So you're just going to first of all explore lifting the leg up and bringing it down, just using that support from the Theraband. Lovely. So again, focusing on keeping that pelvis nice and still. I'd encourage you to use an exhalation breath to come up and an inhalation breath to go down. Exhale to come up and inhale to slowly lower down. On the next one, you're going to lift your leg up and hold it there, and now you're just going to swivel out. So you're just going to explore your range of motion. My right hip is always a bit stiffer, so I don't have quite the same range of motion that I have on the left. So just play with that and just, take note of the difference. It's not a bad thing, just is the way it is. So we're not going to judge what we find, it's just an observation. Good. And now you're going to circle the leg around and back up. So find that swivel in the hip socket and come up. So again, it's really important that we're going to keep that leg nice and stable, that's on the floor, and that the pelvis is not doing a rock and roll dance. Okay, plenty of time for that. This is not the time. Good. Now we're going to go the other way. So you're going to drop the foot straight down towards the floor and then circle away and up. So find that lovely external hip rotation and come up. And again, coming down, swivel and come up. Come down, swivel and come up. And just two more. And the last one. Good. And then we're just going to take that band away. And again, straighten both legs out and just seeing how that feels. Good. So the next thing we want to do is actually get some length in the hamstring, because it's quite hard to just expect the leg to go straight up without any preparation. So now you're going to make a sandal for your foot. So you're going to put the wide part, the center of that band around your foot, and then cross it over. And then just reaching up, giving yourself enough sort of support there. The other leg is bent, and you're just going to allow this one to drop down towards the floor. So now just take a moment to make sure that you're not scrunching the thigh bone in. The whole idea with a band is to create a little bit of elasticity in your joint. So this is sort of mimicking the springs that we use in Pilates. So you're going to exhale, and you're going to slide that leg forward, lengthening the leg out. And now use your arms to pick the leg up. Okay? So you really want to feel that thigh bone dropping down into the hip socket. It's always very tempting to pull the leg as close as you can, but then what you're doing is you're just collapsing into your lower spine. So we don't want that. Just let your leg come down. Let's try that again. So reach the heel to the wall in front of you. And now keep thinking of your sitting bone going forward as you lift the leg up. And just find a little bit of a stretch through the back of the leg. And then slowly come down. Good. And we'll just do that one more time. We're reaching out, and then keep stretching the sitting bone forward so that you don't collapse your lower back. Good. Now straighten the other leg out and turn this leg, and then you're just going to bring your leg across the center line and then release. and slowly pull that leg across the center line. And again, this hip is going to want to creep out. So send it down and round the corner. So this is not a small stretch. This is a pretty big stretch. Good. Just 3 of those. And then you're just going to relax for a second. Just keep your leg bent. So now you've got all the makings of your leg circle, a classic Pilates exercise. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bend the other leg up to give us some support. So you want to push that foot down into the ground. You're going to extend the other leg out, reach it long, and then slowly lengthen up, sending that sitting bone forward. So now this leg that's on the floor, we don't want that to be waving about. So we're going to slowly bring the leg straight down. Now swivel in the hip socket and then draw your circle to bring you back up. Coming down, swivel in the hip socket, draw that semicircle and come back up. So just using the Theraband to give you support so that that leg can move freely, but you're using your abdominals to hold your pelvis nice and still. Good. Now we're going to go the other way. Circle out, exhaling as you move away from the body, inhale to come up. Exhale, draw your circle away from the body, inhale to come up. And circle away from the body and inhale to come up. Turning out, circle away from the body and inhale to come up. Beautiful. So let's just take that away and just see how that feels. Oh, nice and loose and floppy. Probably the nicest way to do your leg circles in the classic Pilates repertoire. So now you're going to pop the band on the other foot. See if you can get it roughly in the middle. Cross it over to make a nice sandal. And then you're just going to make sure that there's quite a bit of resistance on there. So we're going to start off by sliding that straight leg along the ground so it can really open up the waist. And then use your arms to pick your leg up, sending your sitting bone forward, just encouraging a bit of length through the back of the leg, and then you're going to come down. Reaching out, slowly pulling the leg up, lengthening through the back of the leg, just nudge into that stretch, and then come down. Reaching forward and slowly coming up, just nudging into that stretch. Straighten the other leg out, keeping your foot flexed, and turn the leg out. Slowly pull across the center line of the body and release. Oh yeah, I can definitely feel that. And release. And again, keep it turned out as you come across. Lovely. Now you're just going to lower that leg down, bend the other one up, find your length, slowly lifting up the leg. Good. So you're going to bring the leg down, and then you're going to exhale as you move it away from the center line and back up. So just work in a range that's comfortable for you and that you can keep your pelvis really stable. So if you can imagine that your pelvis is a bowl of water, you want to be keeping the water in the bowl and not sloshing it about. So just one more time, going in that direction. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do it in the other direction. So you're going to come up, circle around and coming back up. Turning out, circle around and coming up. Turning out, keeping that pelvis still. Good. Turning the leg out, circle around and up. Good. Beautiful. And now you can just release. Takes a bit of a toll on your hands. And just relax. Good. So just gently clench and unclench your hands. So if you do feel you've kind of been holding on quite hard, and you'll just want to give your hands a little bit of a rest. Right, so why don't we just release the shoulders a little bit more. So we'll just leave the band to the side there for a second again. We'll come back into it in a minute. And we're just going to slide the armpits down and lift the arms up. We're going to exhale, slide your ribs down, take the arms overhead, and then sweep the arms around in a circle. Coming up, as you exhale, reach the arms back. And then inhale as you complete the circle. Exhale, draw the ribs down for the first half of the circle. Inhale to come up. So just feel your ribs sliding in opposition to the direction of your arms at the beginning of the movement. And reversing, bringing the arms down. Now you're going to draw the ribs down as you circle to come up. So inhale as you come down. Exhale as you come overhead. Inhale as you come to your hips. Exhale as you move towards your head. Inhale and exhale as you sweep around. Beautiful. And then just relax the arms down next to you. So now we're just going to use our band again. And this time what we're going to do is we're just going to warm up the abdominals a little. So we've just worked on lifting and lowering a straight leg. Now we're going to work on bending and straightening out into space. And we're going to have both legs up in the air. So again, all of that work happens through that abdominal region to keep you stable. And again, I want you to cross the band over. It's just going to give you a lot more security. And it's going to make sure that you can work your inner thighs because it'll help to bring your feet together. So you're going to have your hands reaching forward towards your shins. You're holding on, not too tightly because you're going to have to push the band out into space. So just take a practice run. Just see, is that enough support there? Or are you pushing out and because you can't stretch it enough, you're arching your back? If that's the case, bring the arms back down a little so that you've got a little bit more play in the band. So just find where the right position is for you. Keep your feet flexed. And now you'll notice that your arms are going to want to pull forward with the band. That's a really good thing because it means that you're actually partnering with the stretch of the band. And I want you to just let your armpits slide down as you exhale and push out into space. Inhale and come back. And exhale, slide the armpits down as you go out. And inhale as you bend to come back. So when you come back in, make sure that you stop at 90 degrees and that you're not pulling in and flattening your lower back. You don't want to be seesawing backwards and forwards through your lower back like that when we're doing this exercise. That actually just puts all your discs at risk here. So we're just trying to hold the pelvis where it is, because that's a lot of weight to carry as soon as you start moving it away from your body. Good. And then come back in and exhale to reach out and inhale to come in. Good. We're going to revisit that in a minute. So that was the first part of the exercise. You're now going to just sit up and you're going to place your band on the ground. Make sure that you sort of spread it out so it's not all folded. Good. Takes a bit of doing. And then you're going to just sit on the end or sort of on the center of it, and you're going to lie down again. You're going to hold on to it, and I want you to pull it a little bit tight, so there's got to be a bit of resistance in there. Rest your head down, and now you're just going to make sure your elbows are forward at 45 degrees, because we're actually going to work the triceps again. So you're going to take a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, draw your ribs down as you pull the arms away from you and just curl up. And then inhale and slowly go down. So you want to make sure that you can feel your ribs lengthening just like that band is lengthening. And then slowly come down. Inhale, as you exhale, shrug the shoulders down but reach the arms up, keeping your head resting in the band. And inhale to come down. So there shouldn't be any neck tension. If anything, your triceps should be starting to complain around about now. So you're going to inhale. As you exhale, pull the band long to curl up. Now you're going to hold it there. As you exhale, lift one leg up and bring the foot down. Exhale, lift the second leg up and bring the foot down. And then slowly lower onto the ground. Inhale. As you exhale, slide your ribs down, pull the band to float your head up. Feel the length of the back of the ribs. Exhale, lift one leg up. Come down, keep your pelvis stable as you lift the legs. Coming down, and then slowly lower back down. Just one more time. Exhale, slide the ribs as you come up. Hold it there as you inhale. Exhale, lift one leg, float it down. Exhale, lift the second leg, float it down, and then slowly go back onto the ground. Good, and just give your arms a little bit of a shake there after all of that lovely hard work. So now you're just going to come up, you're going to take your band, and you're going to put it across your feet again, crossing it over, and we're just going to lie down. So just finding your position here, making sure that you've got as much slack or tension on the band as you need. So now we're going to make sure that your upper body is going to follow the direction that the band is pulling. So the band's going to pull forward when your legs go out, your armpits are going to follow, and your head is going to lift. And then inhale, bend the knees and come down. So exhale, slide the armpits down, pushing the legs forward and curling up. And then inhale and slowly come down. Exhale, reaching out. Inhale to slowly come down. Exhale, slide the armpits down, pushing out. Hold it there, bend your knees in. Exhale to push out. Inhale to bend. Exhale to push out. Last time, inhale to bend. Exhale to push out. And this time, roll all the way down. Good. And then just taking your band off there, just hug your knees into your chest and just give yourself a little bit of a rock. Fantastic. That's really, really good. All right. So what I would like you to do now is to just come and sit up. So you're going to roll onto your side and sit up. And we're going to place our band back around our feet. There we go. Good. This time you can have a little bit of a gap between your feet, probably about a fist width in between your heels if you like. And then you're going to hold onto your band, again, sort of relatively close to your feet, but you do need to be able to stretch it, okay? If you have got any nicks or tears in your band, then be very careful because it might snap. I suggest that you get rid of that band and take a new one instead, okay? So you're going to sit up nice and tall. Your knees are bent and your heels are anchored. So I want you to push your heels forward without straightening your knees, okay? So your legs aren't going to slide. It's just like they're pushing against a barrier. So as that happens, can you feel how your lower back just curves and rounds? Now pull your heels towards you and you're going to sit up nice and tall. Okay, so let's do that again. Just feel how the direction that you're pushing your heels impacts on the shape of your lower back. Good. And then pull your heels and it'll help to bring you up. Good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to roll down about halfway. So it really depends on the flexibility in your back. So you're going to exhale, you're going to push your heels forward and you're going to slowly start rolling back, tucking your tail under, making a C curve in your spine. Go as far as you feel comfortable, and then you're going to inhale, and here comes the tricky part. Let your hands move towards your feet and pull your heels in, and that will pick you back up again. Okay, so don't be tempted to try and pull even closer towards you, it'll just knock you backwards. You have to follow the direction of the release of the band. So we're going to exhale, push the heels forward, and slowly roll back. So think of articulating through your spine bone by bone. Inhale at the bottom and then exhale, follow the band and pull your heels towards you a little bit to come up. Good, well done everybody. Let's see if you can get down a bit further. So we're going to exhale, you're going to push the heels forward, curve your spine, slowly rolling back. Good, hold it there. You're going to inhale. As you exhale, draw the navel in a little bit more. Inhale to release. Exhale, draw in a little bit more. Inhale to release. Exhale, pull in and follow the band forward and sit up nice and tall. Good. Now you're ready to go down all the way, provided that you don't sort of collapse back. So if going to where we've just been is where you feel you can still control the movement, then I'd suggest that you just stay there and don't go all the way down. If you feel comfortable articulating all the way down, then please do. So you're going to exhale, push your heels forward, curve your spine. And you're just going to slowly roll down vertebra by vertebra until you're lying down. Whoops, I overshot that one, didn't I? I'm going to scooch forward a little bit. That's it. Good. That's always the pancake moment. So first pancake never works. Hopefully second one's better. So we're going to exhale, push the heels forward, tucking the tail under, slowly rolling down until you're lying on your back. Inhale at the bottom. Now again, follow the band. That's it. As your ribs come up, pull your heels towards you to help you, and then sit up nice and tall. And exhale, push the heels forward, rolling down. This is your last one. Make it your best one. Inhale at the bottom. And then exhale, reaching the arms forward, and then pull the heels towards you a little bit and sit up nice and tall. Good. Beautiful job, everybody. All right. So just leave that there for a second. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to come and do a little bit of side bending. So you can either sit cross-legged or you can sit in Japanese style, sort of up on your knees this way. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of a change here, you're going to just turn your palm towards me with your elbow bent, and then think of sliding your armpit down to pick the arm up. So the arm's probably going to be sort of roughly diagonally in front of your forehead. You're going to breathe in through the side body, so it's almost like you're pushing up towards the ceiling to come over, and then you're going to exhale and just slide your ribs down. Inhale to go up and over. Good, enjoy that lovely side stretch and come back. Inhale, stretching up and over, and exhale to come back. Lovely, let's go on to the other side. Nice open hand facing towards me. Slide your rib cage down and just feel your shoulder melting as the arm comes up. Good. And we're going to push up towards the ceiling as you bend over. And inhale to come back. Push up to go over. And inhale to come back. And push up to go over as you inhale, opening the side body. Exhale to return back to your start. And your last delicious side stretch. Good job. And come back. Beautiful. Now you're going to press your palms together. Put your thumbs on your breastbone. And you're just going to inhale and gently twist your ribs in one direction. Exhale to come back. Inhale, twist the other way. And exhale to come back. So pushing your palms together like this gets a nice wrist stretch, but it also means that you have to open the space between your shoulder blades. And it also gives you a little bit of support between your hands and your body. It's a lot easier to do initially than it is not to have your hands connected. Good. That's lovely. And then just relax and come back down. Good. So now we're just going to do a little bit of extension work again using our band. So you're just going to place the band down. And all you will need is your little towel. So you're going to roll the towel up. So you can put that underneath your forehead, and so that your head just elevates so you can bring your neck into the right alignment. You're going to bring the band sort of underneath the bottom of your rib cage, is where you're going to place yourself. And I'll just demonstrate it for you. And then I'll talk it. Okay, so I'd like you to lift your tummy, slide your armpits down, think of pulling the band wide as you lengthen forwards through the crown of the head to come up. Inhale to come down. Exhale, lift your tummy. Think of stretching the band wide as you come up, and then slowly coming down. Okay. So the movement is coming from between the shoulder blades. You're going to melt your spine towards your breastbone to come up. So think of your nose moving a marble forward and then moving the marble back. So you don't want to look up and scrunch the back of the neck. So let's hold on here again. So you're going to exhale, you're going to lift the tummy, you're going to slide your armpits down and then pull the band wide to move your marble forward. And then slowly relax and come back down. Exhale, lift your tummy, slide your armpits down. So feel your collarbone smiling across the room as you move your marble forward, and then slowly come back down. Exhale, lift your abdominals, slide your armpits down, lengthen forward through the crown of the head so you get longer, and come down. And the last one, exhale, lift your tummy, slide the armpits down, lengthening out. And come back down. Good. Now just placing your hands underneath your forehead. And we're just going to work on the back of the hip a little bit. So you're going to exhale. You're going to lift your abdominals, you're going to squeeze your bottom on one side and then just lift the leg a centimeter off the floor and then lower down. Exhale, lift your tummy, switch on your butt, and now lift your leg just a centimeter. So go for length rather than height, and then come down. Exhale, lift your tummy, squeeze your bottom, lift your leg, and coming down. Exhale, lift your tummy as if there's a cold ice cube underneath it. Bring your bottom in, and now lift your leg using your hamstring, and come down. Exhale, support your lower back, bring in your glute, and then use your hamstring. So this is the muscle firing pattern for walking. We just don't really break it down like this, but it is what should be happening. Good. And exhale, lift your tummy, draw in your bottom, lift one leg, hold it there. Make sure your tummy is still on to lift the other leg. Hold, 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 and then slowly lower them both down. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. So you're going to exhale, you're going to lift your tummy, squeeze your bottom, lift your leg. Keep your tummy on as you squeeze your other bottom and lift your leg. Hold, hold, hold. You can flex if you like, and then relax and come back down. That'll just make a deeper connection into the bottom of your glute. So exhale, lift your abdominals, draw in your bottom, lift your leg. Keep those abdominals on as you lift the other one. You can flex your feet as you hold, 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 and then just relax and come down. Good. And let's just come down into child's pose. Just enjoying that delicious release in there. And then we're just going to come forward into 4-point kneel. Good. Just move your band out the way. And you're just going to take one hand, you're going to slide it past, and you're just going to send your tail towards the ceiling. Just enjoy that lovely stretch. And then bringing your arm back. So take the one hand behind the other arm and just go down. Just feel that long stretch and twist. And then slowly coming back up. And again, reaching through, stretching out, enjoying that lovely stretch through there. And then coming back up. And one more time, reaching through, stretching everything out. And then come back. Good. Well, thank you very much for joining me for another class. I hope you've got a new appreciation for the challenge, but also the support that Theraband can give you. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.